Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, I want to start off by thanking my subscriber, Allie, for these photos of I believe they're mailbox toppers that she took. I think they're adorable. I cannot knit. God knows my grandmother tried to teach me, but people who do this kind of stuff, I just can't even imagine the talent you have to have. It's just insane. Anyway, we have a lot to cover today as usual. Let's just get in there and get started, shall we? Let's go. All right, we're starting off this morning with chairs. The chairs of a state, the throne chairs, which are the chairs of state, and some of the congregational chairs. So let's take a look. So these are the chairs of a state, and Camilla and Charles are using the chairs that Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip used, and they'll both be in the throne room at Buckingham Palace. But these chairs and the next set, both were ones used by the Queen and Philip and are being reused. Next up, we have the chairs of a state, and Camilla and Charles actually went by to look at how they were being made. Going to be gorgeous. And finally, these are the coronation chairs that some of the people that are, watching are going to be sitting on during the coronation service. Fabulous. Next up, the images you're looking at were released by the BBC of what the coronation concert stage at Windsor Castle is going to look like. That's fabulous. Next up, we're going to look at the robes of the coronation. Now, they're both going to wear two different sets of robes. You have the robes of state and the robes of estate. I know it's confusing. The robes of state are worn when they arrive at Westminster Abbey, and the others are worn on the departure. The king's robe of state, which he'll be wearing when he gets there, is made of crimson velvet, and it was worn by King George VI in 1937. Camilla's robe of state, to be worn when she arrives, was made originally for Queen Elizabeth in 1953 of crimson velvet, and then has been conserved and is now being brought back out. Now, Charles's robe when he leaves is also one that was worn by King George VI in 1937. It is purple embroidered with gold, and Camilla's robe is now being made for her separately. Wonderful. Now, moving on, you should know that in Canada, they are going to have a national coronation celebration at Parliament Hill. It's going to have artists, speakers, Indigenous performers, and a 21-gun salute. Go Canada! Moving on, we know that this is the first coronation in 70 years. It's more modern, and so Charles has made some changes. He's definitely making this his own. So here we go. For the very first time, female clergy are going to be playing a prominent role. The second major change is that the members of the public are being invited to join a quote-unquote chorus of millions in swearing allegiance to the king and his heirs. Number 3, Charles will be the first ever monarch to read a prayer out loud during the ceremony, and apparently it's a personal prayer to reflect the loving service theme. Number 4, Camilla is actually going to be anointed in full public view. That's never happened before. And she's also going to be given a ring. It's got rubies and diamonds on it that symbolizes her marrying her consort to the king. And finally, number 5, it used to be that all the dukes had to kneel and pay homage, but obviously the Duke of Gloucester and Kent, everybody's getting up there. So the only person who's going to do it is Prince William. Go William! Now moving on, it's being said that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, might break from tradition and not wear the tiara and maybe instead wear flowers in her hair because, at the late Queen's coronation, everybody that was a senior royal wore a tiara. There you go. But she may not want to. Let's be honest. It's really not going to matter what she wears. She's going to look gorgeous no matter what. It doesn't matter. Even if she just wears flowers. Yeah. So whatever she wears, I guess we'll find out for sure on Saturday. All right, now this next article really got me because it talks about there's all this criticism because of Harry and Meghan. And so now the Republicans have started coming out, of the woodwork and all this kind of stuff. And they're saying generally the younger generation doesn't seem to support the monarchy, but the royal family is all the publicity for the country, and their traditions, their pageantry, their parades are the envy of the world. It's like living history. I'm dying to go to London. And the royal family is part of the reason why. So for all of you screaming that the royal family shouldn't be there, let me tell you something. Without them, your country would suffer big time. Now, this is a good example, okay? So the Republican campaigners have said, Charles is asking for the public allegiance is offensive and tone deaf, okay? Completely ignoring what was actually said. It's the anti-monarchy campaigners that are complaining that this is crossing the line. But as Joe March on Twitter pointed out, the king invited you. It's an invitation, not an order. He did it to be kind. He did it to be inclusive. You don't have to do it. It's an invitation. So your argument is crap. We all know that. The same anti-monarchists have claimed that the Crown Estate has a portfolio of properties worth £15.6 billion. Absolutely not true. They're spreading misinformation. Why isn't Harry speaking up? The Crown Estate is owned by the king in name only. The money made is for the UK government. All profits, not 75%, all profits go to the Treasury. So you have to see the Crown as the state. That's how it works. All right, moving on. Super fans are already assembling tents and sleeping on the sidewalks 6 days away from the coronation because they want to have a good place to stand. And some onlookers are just clinging on to the hope that they'll be able to spot King Charles and Queen Camilla as they pass. Now, they've set up deck chairs and tents on the mall, waiting for this to happen. And they plan apparently well in advance to get the best spot for the coronation. The only thing I'm going to say about that is if I was camping out for 6 days and somebody tried to jump on my spot, I could see some fights breaking out. Defend your territory. Moving on, you guys should know that Madame Tussauds Wax Museum put Harry back with the royal family. Only Harry, since he's the only one coming for the coronation. I got to be honest, I wouldn't have done that. I would have left him in the corner where he was. Moving on. Next up, apparently, coronation organizers say they still don't know Harry's plans. I got to be honest, here's my thought process. You don't need Harry's plans. Have a place for him to sit in the event that he should actually show up. Make sure security is there. Make sure that he's seated exactly where you planned on sitting him. If he shows up, great. If he doesn't, oh well. I have never seen two people try so hard to take the attention from another person. Amazing. And saying that, this article came out saying that we already know there's going to be a Meghan onslaught for a month. It's already started. Look at us at the game. Look, I signed with a new agency. Look, Archie's birthday. We know what they're doing. It's childish. It's juvenile. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Talk TV had something to say about all of this. You guys know how much I love these straightforward people that just say what's on their mind and spell it out. So listen to this.
But if Charles told the Duchess of Netflix where to get off, that she could stick her divisive accusations of racism where the sun don't shine, the British public would have loved it. Sadly, however, as a man who hates confrontation more than anything else, the nice but timid king doesn't understand that we fervently want our sovereign to stand up for himself, to stand up for his wife, and for the loved ones Meghan has done so much to undermine. Instead, the desperate monarch posts appeasing pictures of Meghan and Harry in the bosom of the Windsor clan before they bolted to California, as if somehow those happier times can ever happen again. They can't, and uncheerful Charlie might as well get used to it. Cards on the table. I'm worried about this, King.
Moving on, you guys. All right, here we go. Harry and Meghan, it's being reported, are talking to Netflix about doing a documentary for communities in South Africa. In other words, they want to do something on camera to show that they're philanthropic so they can make their $100 million. They want to build houses in villages. They want to take a humanitarian focus to bring awareness to safer birthing practices. I'm not kidding. They want to be followed while they go to compounds and share medical information. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to make money off the poor of Africa by showing you through Netflix that they are philanthropic. Right. You know, somehow with this great idea, I believe that Harry and Meghan have forgotten how upset the people of South Africa were. And after they left, people were putting up that Vosek, hashtag on Twitter. They don't want them back. People in South Africa don't want Meghan Markle to go there. So I mean, she upsets everybody. I agree with Meghan's mole. This is a prime example of how not to be a humanitarian. Let's go to South Africa and pretend to build houses to exploit people and make millions for our Netflix special. Spot on. All right, next up, I was watching the body language guy. He was pointing out something that happened with Harry and Meghan before they walked away from the family. And I found it I didn't see it. He saw it. Okay, so here's Harry and Meghan standing side by side. There's a speech or something going on, and Meghan's smiling, and Harry's smiling, and everybody looks happy, and everything is fine. Now here, Meghan is smiling because she is the center of attention. She's obviously talking. People are paying attention to her. But look what happens when she is no longer the center of attention. Look at that face. Look at the weird blinking thing. She's unhappy. So yeah, I think that's part of her narcissistic tendency. She's got to be in control. All right, let's move on to our last thing. For those of you who watched the Markle special, this is what Harry said about Thomas Markle. Not only is he not helping to repair the damage, somebody who's lost his mother, but he's insulting Thomas Markle. Let me tell you something. Somebody who himself is developing a belly should not be making comments about what somebody else looks like. I mean, who does he think he is? I seriously think he thinks he's like this sexy redhead guy. This guy is not physically attractive. At least I don't think he is. He wouldn't be to me. I mean, look at his face. He looks like a deer caught in the headlight. He's mentally pliable. We've all seen that too. You could tell him anything, he'd believe you. He's easily manipulated. And he's got some deep-seated psychological problems. So he's going to insult Meghan's father when he himself has obviously discovered the all-you-can-eat dinner buffets. I mean, seriously, who is he to insult anybody's looks? Is that some more of that Archewell compassion and action that we keep hearing about? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's right. They're no longer a charity. Now they're content creation. They've changed because it's all about the money. That's right. I'm sorry. I digress. I completely forgot. I noticed Meghan didn't stop him from doing it. Well, I agree with Thomas Markle, though. Of all the things he's done, the one thing he's never done is dress like a Nazi. Morning, everybody. Okay, I just wanted to tell you what happened. So I think it was about 3 weeks ago that I made the comment that my numbers weren't changing. And the day I put that video up, I went up to like 57,457 people, something like that. That's where I've been for the last 2-3 weeks. Then yesterday, I told you guys what was happening with YouTube. My numbers weren't going up. And so suddenly, on the day that I complained, the second time that I put up a video complaining, my numbers have gone up. So as of this morning, I'm at 57,516. So let's see what happens if that holds for the next 3 weeks or if it suddenly drops back down. Apparently, complaining online gets you something. I can't explain it, you guys. I can't. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Leave those comments below. Make them good. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you've already hit the button, double check and make sure you are still subscribed. Don't forget to go up into the description box to find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, my physical address as well. If you've donated coffee, money, or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.